really beyond everything, it is whatever you do it with integrity. You do it where whatever it is you say is in line with your actions, no matter where you go in the world. Just not betraying yourself as you expand. That is unapologetically bold for me. So I always say we are not just a product of culture, we are producers of culture. And what storytelling does, whether you do it, whether you have different institutions or pillars of storytelling, from the law, which is in itself an institution of storytelling, or culture, media, all of these things, we use those as negotiating mediums for people to have a different lived experience and understanding of what they understand of their own bodies. So we move this idea of stereotyping, and the more stories you have, the more expansive the possibilities are of particular marginalized groups. So when I started this journey, I said that I want to represent albinism in a positive way. But the thing is, within my body, I carry blackness, I carry women, I carry Africans, and all of these have a history of harmful representation in media. And now, whichever project I started to choose, I started understanding that I'm taking all of these identities with me, and I have to take care of them in all the representational formats that I am in. And where I am right now is because of my experience, because I understand the power of presence in a situation. Because, I don't know how else to explain it, but things will not change in our absence. There's a space that will not see you or even imagine you being there. You need to be there in order for that change to transform. And it will start transforming the more you have critical mass, the more you have people who are like you, the more that system will change, because then it has to accept that, hey, black women are here, hey, people with albinism are here, and it will start transforming itself the more you make sure that we make space for each other so that we can transform the system. So where I am now is all the projects I do, I center the work of underrepresented groups. I look in the archives, unearthing all the stories that can make us better in terms of our cultural imagination, but that were buried for 50s and histories. We need to unearth them and take them out. Let me tell you, the feedback from my community is more than what people say, because there's what people say, and people will say, oh my gosh, this representation, it saw me so deeply, it changed my life. But what you see is how it shifts policy throughout the continent, not even just in South Africa, from the UN to the African Union, the allies that you build, and what it actually means within domestic policy in African countries. That is when you actually start seeing the change. When you start seeing, oh my gosh, here are people with albinism who are parliamentarians now. Here are people with albinism who are bankers, etc. Things that were seen as not possible once upon a time. But the more multi-level representation you have, the more you start seeing people from underrepresented groups in places of influence and power. And when I say power, I don't mean it in terms of domination. I mean it as a place where we can create and build economies together. Okay, to my 18-year-old self, the first pearl of wisdom, as I had said even there, protect your optimism. Do whatever it is, whether you meditate, you keep the right kind of circle, you pray, you do whatever it is to protect your optimism. You need to see optimism as a place of resilience and sustenance, because whenever you're trying to move into a place, whether it's activism or whatever space of power or change, you need to believe that your efforts will indeed change society. The second one is make sure that you have tribe. I am a very huge advocate of tribe. You need to be around people who you can be vulnerable with, who you can test your ideas with in a safe space, and who can give you the benefit of perspective. I cannot explain to you, because even when you are depressed and you're thinking there's nothing I can do in this world, the benefit of perspective, someone who knows how to speak to you in a way that opens up your world, that is a gift. When you have those people around you, make sure that you protect them because they protect you. It's reciprocal. The third one, you are worthy of joy. You are worthy of joy. The more you build into these systems and you work hard and everything, and there are very few times where you allow yourself to feel true joy, because you have this fear that something's going to go wrong, or whatever the case may be. You have to just be like, I'm in happy moments. Instead of feeling relief, feel true happiness. And And so I would say, you are worthy of joy.